All right, everyone. Welcome to the Jeep Life Podcast Live Edition. We are recording our episode 516.
Wow.
Yeah, 516.
All right, then. I know we're missing people.
Yeah, table's a little empty, but we had to give people time away. Jason's on a
They
big plane.
didn't show up.
Jason's on a big plane. He can't
He's
get
on
here.
a plane.
I don't know where Dr. Don is.
Yeah.
But you're stuck with us. You get the good. You get the good looking too.
Stuck with us is for sure.
Let's see.
Oh, that's badass. Have you seen the Onyx off-road cool bus?
Which one? Oh yeah.
It is
Onyx's.
Onyx's.
I saw it.
That's really cool.
That is cool.
So it is a short bus because I ride the short bus.
Yeah.
But it is a four-wheel drive conversion short bus.
Nice.
Thing is freaking awesome sauce.
What's up, Mark? What's up, Mike? Welcome. We're for a good show tonight. It'll be not an exciting one, but it'll be a good one.
I'm here, so it'll always be exciting.
I wish we had a gazillion dollars. We could build a studio,
Bro.
that could have air conditioning without noise.
You mean like radiant cooling?
I don't know how, but recording studios do it.
They do, because it's just called central air.
Yeah, but dude, what engineers will do to hide fan noise from your computer.
I understand that. It's called you get a better computer. There's no fan noise coming out of your Mac 6000 BTU.
Yeah.
You know?
No, there's not.
It's called I have a Lenovo.
But so a fairly popular album was recorded. A CD was recorded in my house in college.
Interesting.
And literally they paid money because they needed to use my computer because it was the most powerful Apple computer on campus at the time. So they cut holes into the walls so they could run the cables and everything to another room.
Huh.
Because of all the noise
from
that computer and everything else that was going on, to isolate everything in another bedroom where the furniture was removed and sound deadening all over to
produce it.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Interesting.
And parts of that album actually can be found on the Shrek soundtrack, which is kind of cool.
What is that album?
By a band called Self.
Okay.
It's basically Matt Mahaffrey, if I'm saying that right. I met him and knew him in college. But he's the guy who wrote the Expedia.com jingle. He's done a lot of stuff that you just don't know that he's done, including songs on the Shrek soundtrack,
well,
and other TV show theme songs. It's kind of cool.
Very interesting.
All right, we're building steam. We're getting people on. I'm going to go ahead and hit that button and
that's a great idea.
Get us rolling. See you on the other side. hey, everybody, and welcome to the Jeep Life Podcast, powered proudly by Armorlight, the toughest flooring on the trail. You can find them at goarmorlight.com. And you know what? Use our exclusive Armorlight discount, Jeep Life Podcast 10, on a complete Armorlight system. And I just installed that Armorlight system in the kids' Jeep, and you know, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I'm Jeep and Terry.
And I'm Break It Billy.
And we're coming live on a Monday night.
It's our new night. Monday night is
Monday
the good
night.
night.
It's a good night.
It really is.
But it's kind of a weird thing that you and I are back together, just the two of us.
For a hot minute.
Yeah, we did that for a chunk of time.
Yeah, we did.
We did for a long time. But I'm glad that
life happens.
It does. And I'm glad that we have a team now so that we can actually, if somebody needs to take the time,
dude,
it's cool to do that.
Huge shout out to Jason and Don for everything they do for the podcast.
Heck yeah.
You know, it's great. It really makes, sometimes we do need that third person, another voice of reason to bring us back into check or to wake us up, one or the other, something. Or just like, hey guys, but, I mean, I definitely agree that 3 is a good number, but I think tonight we're going to make it happen. We got a good show lined up for you guys, and we're going to be talking from some cooling to some unfortunate news.
Yeah. So let's talk about the cooling, because I'm excited about this, because I am still running.
Hold on. Let's bring this back,
right,
and we're gonna talk. We're gonna catch up first. Have you done anything Jeeping lately, Terry?
I put the top up and down multiple times.
That is more than I can say I can do, because I can't take my top. Well,
No.
I can take my shirt off,
but
but
it's gonna be that kind of show.
Yeah, but I can't take my top off because I am a hardtop guy.
You are,
and I enjoy my hardtop. But I really want to take it off right now. I don't know why.
Well, we've had like 8 days in a row with no rain, which has been fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, and if it right now, even if you have rain, I mean, throw a top over it for a little bit of time.
My windows have been open. They were open for like 6 days straight.
Yep.
And I forgot to close them before I mowed the grass. So I got in yesterday, and like there's grass everywhere inside the Jeep, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
It'll blow out.
Yeah, with all the wind, I've picked up a lot of like pine needles and stuff in the floor of mine. Yeah. Big deal. Armorlight.
Okay.
Blow it out.
So anything else Jeeping?
No, not really.
Driving it.
Okay. And enjoying it. It's these extended periods where I can have the top down.
I know.
I don't care if it's 95 degrees. I just get
Dude,
out there.
I was talking to another Jeeper, one of my coworkers, and probably we were chuckling about this because we had to run an errand for work. And so we'd get in his Gladiator, which is, absolutely awesome. It's a white Gladiator, 37s. The thing is freaking sweet. And so he has the top back, all the windows open, AC cranking.
Yeah.
And Jeepers are the only people that would drive around with no top, windows open, doors off, something of the sort.
Yep.
But AC just rocking.
Guilty as charged.
And you even like max AC. You put it on the recirculation. Oh yeah, but Jeepers are probably the only people that will do that.
No, I would agree with that. Well, I don't know. I've seen some like BMW and Mercedes convertible drivers, and they've got that little panel behind their head.
Yeah, that's a little interesting.
And so that keeps the air from recirculating back in. So I would assume that they would have a pretty cool little cockpit area.
Maybe
with that. But you're right. It was unbelievable.
We're the cooler ones.
We're definitely the cooler ones.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I do the same thing. At one point when it was like 95, 96 degrees, I catch myself reaching down to turn it to see if it would go any further. If I could turn it up to 11.
No, and it's already at 10.
It's already at 10.
Nah, seriously. So I'm driving, this past week I didn't close the windows. I'm driving around, AC on, all the windows open, music bumping, and just loving life,
Yeah, it's amazing what that'll do. Just having those few days of
total mood change.
Yeah. It's again that smiles per gallon, right?
It really is.
I wouldn't want any other vehicle to do that.
I know.
It's so cool.
It really is.
Yeah, so I've had different various stages of top down, through the week because there's been a couple threats of rain, so I haven't pushed it all the way down, or maybe I did, but I took out the windows.
Yep.
Right, and so it's various stages. We've talked about this in previous, that you're a hard top guy.
I am.
And I'm a soft top guy.
Yeah.
I want the soft top year round because who knows that one day in December that might squeak to 58 degrees.
Yep.
I want to be able
to
throw that
hear you.
Soft top back. And even though you can take the freedom panels off, which actually, while Lexi still had her hard top,
that
was cool.
I do it all the time.
Right, feels good.
Yeah. I just throw them in the back seat.
Yeah.
Or in the trunk.
Throw them back there because you're going to put them right back on, right? And but
or you don't get caught in a rainstorm without them.
Yeah, right. Well, we had like 5 or 6 days between storing her hard top and putting her soft top on.
Yeah.
And it was touch and go one or two of those days because putting a soft top on from scratch can be a time consuming.
Daunting.
No, I think I've done that since we recorded. Did I do the soft top? No, I've done it.
No, that was 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. So I put the soft top on, and it looks really great.
Yeah. It's gray.
It's gray. It was the only year that Jeep did that, and it looks really good. Now it's a cell cloth, so it's a thinner vinyl. But it still looks good. It's in good condition to be a 14-year-old top.
Well, it's a new old stock.
Right. It literally had
old. Wait, what? Yeah.
You
know what I mean.
Old new stock. New old stock. I don't know.
Whatever. It is a brand new old top.
Yeah. But it's been great to be able to for her to be able to just throw that back and everything. Changing a hard top or soft top on a JK is only 4 bolts.
Correct.
Lots of zipper time, but
4 bolts, and then you got the 6 knobs. 3 on each side. The thumb knobs.
Thumb knobs, yeah.
But they're not. They're not difficult.
No, for the door surrounds.
Yep.
It's funny because I take my soft top down.
Yeah.
And the door surrounds are still there. It's amazing how much better a Jeep looks without the door surrounds.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but even with the doors on, if the door surrounds are off, it looks 1,000 times better.
Yes, it does.
And that's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that is.
Not sure.
I think because that C-pillar area, there's nothing there when the
right, it's just door.
Yeah, it's just door.
Or if you have the surrounds, you have like this big bulky black plastic looking thing.
C-pillar area.
Yeah. It doesn't look good.
But without it has more of
better.
a racer back kind of feel to it. Maybe that's it. We just figured it out.
Absolutely.
If you can only have one top, then soft top is probably a better choice. The wife's Jeep came with both. A dual top system is great.
It is. I feel like I would find I just wouldn't change it over.
Well, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Right? And luckily that's kind of where the owners prior to Lexi were.
Yeah.
Because the hard top still looks good, but the soft top
looks amazing.
Really looks good.
Yeah.
Because it was left in good condition.
Yeah.
And the soft top that I have is from someone who had a dual top system.
Okay.
And I bought it off of them.
Right.
And it was brand new.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. So go out and buy dual top systems so I can buy the soft top part of it from you real cheap.
Well, I had a super Jeeping week this past week.
Yeah?
Oh, geez. The amount of Jeeping stuff I did.
Nada.
Worked on my own Jeep.
Yep.
I worked on a buddy's Jeep.
Oh, you did. That's right. Well, you worked on Jason's.
We worked on, well, actually, his wife's Jeep. We did wheel bearings, an oil change, and brakes and rotors under 3.5 hours.
That's a lot of work.
2 wheel bearings. We did each side.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah. We cranked through that.
Nice.
It was a lot. So I did that Thursday. And then I made a very large purchase today.
Oh, my God.
Huge purchase. Let me tell you. And it has to do with my cooling system.
How much money did you spend?
$22.95.
Whoa. You broke the bank.
I did.
3 credit cards maxed out right there.
For a new radiator cap.
Best purchase ever.
Yeah. So I was, over this past couple weeks with this heat kind of setting in, I've been having some, not heating like necessarily issues, but I just notice that if I climb a hill, it kind of climbs up a little bit to like 230 or maybe 232, 235. Not good. So I don't want to be in that range. I mean, it's not awful because it drops right back down. It drops significantly back down.
Yep.
So today I was at work and I was like, maybe let me take a look at the radiator. I'll take a look at all the hoses to make sure none of them are really bulging or anything because that's a common problem. So when you notice this stuff of your temp gauge kind of climbing, these are the things you want to kind of look over.
Oh, yeah.
And so main things, all of your rubber hoses.
Yep.
I have 165,000 miles on the body of my Jeep.
Yes. I know for a fact that some of those rubber hoses have been changed out since then.
On the side of the road as I'm calling Terry, hey, man, how close to work are you? Because I need some help.
Yeah, I remember that.
As we're pouring bottles of water into the radiator to, just top it off. Either way, so I've blown a few radiator hoses here and there, but, my 2 radiator, that actually go to the radiator still stock. So I wanted to take a look at them. I'm looking at changing them still to see if it kind of helps even more. But one of the big things that I was looking around the engine bay and I look at the radiator cap and I noticed that there is white, dried antifreeze.
Yeah.
And you can see it sprayed kind of. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the radiator cap. I pop it off. I look at it and I look at the seals. And, are they toast?
Are they?
Oh, my gosh.
They were,
toast.
dry-rotted looking?
Not dry-rotted, but just, big indentation of, where it sits under the seals and the lips of the radiator opening. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I need a new radiator cap.
Mm-hmm.
And that is kind of what I changed it out. At lunchtime today, so the Jeep was nice and cool. I mean, my fluid's all topped off. Everything looks good.
Yeah.
But even with that, this is something that is very simple that you don't really necessarily notice. So the purpose of a radiator cap is it has 2 functions.
Yes.
Specifically on most Jeeps. Once you hit the JL model and the Gladiators, they have a complete closed system. So they don't have a normal radiator cap like we have on the JKs and the TJs and the YJs and the CJs.
Almost every car.
Yeah, almost every car. But, actually a lot of manufacturers are going to this more closed system, and which it's good and bad. There's pluses and minuses of both. Usually, both systems have... hold on, let's back up. All coolant systems are closed systems, technically. It's a matter of whether the reservoir is included in that closed system or not. So on JKs, they have an external reservoir, where this radiator cap plays a crucial role. So what it does is it has 2 functions. It has an inlet valve and it has an outlet valve. And the outlet valve is actually pressure. It's a determined pressure. So for JKs, I just noticed this. I currently had an 18 PSI radiator cap on my Jeep. Came factory. I have never changed my radiator cap ever.
Okay.
So 18 PSI. What that means is that the coolant system at temperature should be under 18 pounds per square inch. And if it reaches above 18 pounds per square inch, it will blow off.
Right.
Which it
it's
needs to.
to.
It releases the pressure to allow the cooling system to cool down, because when you get into a closed system or confined space, pressure is a function, of heat, or heat is a function of pressure.
Yep.
So what it does at 18 psi blows off into the reservoir, and then vice versa. It has another valve on that same radiator cap that if you run low and there's an air pocket, what happens is your engine will create that air to expand. It blows up, and then as your engine cools, that air contracts and actually creates a vacuum inside that closed system, and it pulls a small little valve on the inside of the radiator cap to pull from your coolant reservoir. Yep. So that's kind of how your radiator cap works. However, over time, if the seals become bad or anything of the sort, it will prematurely blow off, or vice versa. It'll hold too much pressure, and as it builds pressure, it'll increase heat a lot more. So I was like, all right, well, it's leaking no matter what, so I need to change the cap.
Right.
But so I changed it at lunch today. Driving home, I think I hit 230 once, and that was up like a major hill.
Yeah, I know that hill. Yep.
And I was like, okay, I'm good. I mean, besides that, it barely reached 225.
That's really interesting, because mine's actually all the temperature readings are exactly right, within a ratio.
Yeah.
But they're all like 10 degrees
warmer.
It's reading 10 degrees warmer.
I mean, this is something to look at, and this is something for everybody out there to look at. Like, check your radiator cap, check the seals on it. Push on it too. Like, you can push on the actual inside seal and see if that compresses. Because if your springs kind of, heat cycles, it's going to definitely change the material properties of that spring over time.
Sure.
A lot of heat cycles. That's what we're talking about here. So that spring actually might stiffen up over time. So it might be holding more pressure than it's supposed to.
Oh, yeah.
So that's, and then here's the side note that what I found was very interesting is I went for the Mopar radiator cap for the 2007 to 2018 Jeep Wrangler JK automatic. So that covers both the 3.8 liter and the 3.6 liter. And a couple other Jeep models that, use the 3.6.
Grand Cherokee.
Few.
Right.
But they actually changed the pressure rating from 18 psi to 17 psi.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it says it right on the top of the radiator cap.
Does it? That's interesting.
I found that very interesting. So I'm wondering if later in the production years that they kind of discovered that it needs to be more along that 17 psi versus 18.
So move a little quicker.
Yeah, you can get all kinds of different pressure ratings.
Yep.
15, 16, 17, 18. Some vehicles are even higher. Don't know why, but that's kind of what the engineers there thought.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you're feeling good in the neighborhood with it.
I'm feeling a lot better. Obviously, there's no leaking, which is important.
Right.
So, I got to do a good old engine bay clean to get rid of some of that scum. But, we're going to rock it.
That's cool. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's so funny how even the little things can make a huge difference,
Absolutely.
right? And those engineers in Ohio, they know. They know. All right. We call for listener input all the time, and we want that, and we've gotten it. I'm going to do two. One is a live question. Joe is good about sending these live questions, and sometimes we answer them, sometimes we push them to a later time. But his live question is, should you go body mount rock rails or step up to a welded on?
Depends on what you're doing.
It does.
Very much. I'm going to be honest. Wait, say that again. Welded on or body mounted?
Yes.
There's your answer.
Well, the welded is going to be on there.
Welded is going to be real rock rails.
Yes.
Your body mounted isn't going to do squat.
Well, So I've got, my rock slide engineering step slides. They're body mounted and
they tie into the frame.
Under
the body mounts.
Right.
But that is frame mounted.
That is frame mounted. All right,
so it is bolted frame mounted versus body mounted, which there are just body mounted rock rails, which is bolted into the tub
and the pinch seam. Yes,
tub and pinch seam. They're all right-ish.
It's better than just pinch seam.
Better than nothing.
Yeah,
but it ain't gonna last long.
No, I mean,
if you're gonna put that rock rail on a rock like it's designed to.
Well, the Rubicon rails are into the body, but not into the frame.
I'd consider them brush guards.
Yeah, they're you're not wanting to put the weight of it.
No, if you're looking for some actual rock rails that will hold up against putting them up against something. And, wheeling it and, you still want them to look good afterwards. Yep. I will be honest with you. If you're going to go to a welded rock rail, to begin with, that welded rock rail is going to be a thicker material.
Yep.
So that in turn is going to give you a better strength, factor and everything of the sort. So I would say if you're looking for a good rock rail that's going to hold up, welded to the frame or bolted to the frame, that's okay too.
Right.
Is definitely going to hold up a lot longer. Now, if you want to go for some side steps, go for it. Straight to the body.
Yep. if your only purpose is to get in and out of the Jeep a little easier,
and then that looks like a rock rail, body mounted are fine. They're going to hold up ish. But they may get ripped off pretty easily on some trail.
Fair enough.
Or seriously damaged.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Joe, for that. We have an email from Jeremy from Ohio.
Oh, Jeremy from Ohio.
Yeah.
All right.
And I know this issue all too well.
Some listener input right here.
Yeah, right.
So my 17 Wrangler door hinges are rusting.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna welcome you to that club, and I'm gonna shake your hand right now if you're listening.
Yes.
Like bubbling rust under paint. So that is the common way that a lot of these rust.
Yep.
Mostly on the hinges that's on the Jeep body. So not so much the door hinges.
Correct.
So it's the ones that are kind of underneath. I can patch that up with matching rattle campaign, or do I just need to go buy new hinges and then paint them?
Yeah.
So that's the question.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with that real quick.
Yeah.
What's your guys' opinion? Thanks for the Jeep Life podcast. It makes my night at work just go a little bit faster. Well, I'm glad, Jeremy, because we love doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I actually just recently purchased all new hinges.
Did you go all 4?
I went all 8.
All 8. So you did the door and the...
Oh, no.
There's 2 per door.
2 per door. I did upper, lower.
Right,
So I purchased all new hinges off of, that rainforest out there.
Yeah.
But super cheap. It was like, I think, $120. Got all new ones. They are black. I was thinking about leaving them black, so it was like contrast color a little bit.
Yep.
But I think it would just be easier, peace of mind. You're not going to try to sand them, because you definitely have to sand them all down to bare metal unless you have access to like a sandblast cabinet or something.
Yep.
You're going to spend a lot of time wire wheeling, sanding them down, redoing them, reprimering them, paint them, top coat, whatever.
Yep.
So I would say ease of peace of mind, quickness. Just go pick up a set. They're a dime a dozen. JKs, they're a whole lot easier to find right now.
Yeah.
Your rainforest friends is going to seriously help you on the Amazons. But yeah, they have the top. They actually sell full kits, or just the lowers, or just the uppers. So my personal opinion is go buy new lower hinges. And a set of Delrin door inserts.
I was going to say the bushings might be even more important, right? I I agree with that 100%.
Even if you just replace one.
Even if you just replace one. So I've got 3 of my hinges right now are in that rust condition. The doors come off the hinges easily because I've changed out the bushings. I also have one that I replaced. I went to Jeep and went to the parts counter and bought it. And it's still the black.
Still black.
It's
on the opposite side, so you don't see it.
I don't see it.
So you never think about it.
And it's funny because the only damage that I have, body damage, on my entire Jeep is that same door has a crease from it, and that hinge has been replaced. And the same tree on the same trail got both of them at different times.
Yes.
Because one was a door off incident, one was a door on.
Yeah.
But, changing out those hinges, it's not hard.
So I'll be 100% honest. Let me stop you, Terry. It is a little nerve-wracking.
It's nerve-wracking.
You have to crack paint.
Yes.
Because the hinges they're painted over the bolts.
Yep.
So you do have to crack paint. But besides that, continue.
To be honest with you, it's easier to do those bolts than it is to do the door breaking of the paint.
I got one even better.
Or the hood.
Hood hinges is probably one of the most stressful things you'll do.
100%. But it's not that hard. And, if you go and buy a new one, they come with black. It's ready to prime and paint. You don't really have to do anything other than prime and paint. So that's your easier step.
Yes.
I'm going to probably eke through this summer and maybe right before winter.
Yeah.
Then I'll change all the hinges. And I might as well buy the whole kit.
Right.
Since I have one good hinge, but it's black.
Yeah.
I might as well buy the whole kit, paint it, get it all done before I even remove the doors.
Yep.
Right? Even if I do that one afternoon and then, 3 weeks later I put those hinges on. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right about that. That's the right way to go.
So, and also another thing, and I kind of thought about this while you were chatting. Rust usually leaves pitting.
Yep.
So, and that is very difficult to get rid of when you're sanding. And also, that really doesn't come out in a sandblast cabinet. So, for the smoothness, the texture, overall look, and finish, if you want to really look nice after you're done, I would say just go, even if you just buy a single hinge, it's worth it.
So I would definitely make sure that I personally, if I had it all to do over again, I did this repair in the parking lot of my kid's orthodontist. And it's kind of nerve-wracking doing one hinge while trying to put it all in and then get it all lined up, because there is a certain amount of lining up that you need to do with it. Yep. So get a buddy to come over and help you out, and just to have an extra set of hands is wonderful.
Yes.
When you do it in the middle of the parking lot at 92 degrees outside, and you're trying to hold and get the hinge alignment correct, it's a little more stressful. So make sure to do that. Thank you for that email. That was awesome. And now I know to go to the rainforests.
Go to the rainforests.
I know, right? There's even a 5% off coupon. It's crazy.
And these questions are absolutely awesome. We love answering them for you guys. We love giving our opinion. It's just like an a-hole. Everybody has one.
Take them with a grain of salt, right?
Hey, I mean, it's just how we would do it, and you can still do it your own way, and that's great. But you know what? We'd like to hear about your way.
Yeah.
So send us an email at info@jeeplifepodcast.com, or you can give us a phone call at 484-
Did I include it?
268-2569. Once again, 484-268-2569. And you might be on the podcast.
I'm waiting for that.
I know. We haven't had one in a while.
All right. The calendar.
I know.
Let's rip through the calendar.
It is getting busy, man.
It's busy.
It's coming up. So June 29th is Reclaim for First Responders, and that is in Columbus, New Jersey, put on by the Pine Barrens Venom Jeep Club.
Good people over there.
Absolutely. Supporting the first responders and what they do for their community. So if you have the time, head over and support them.
I might try to get over there. Something might have opened up that I might be able to get over there.
I forget.
Yeah, before there was something I was committed to, but things have kind of changed, so I might be able to make it.
Gotcha. So July 12th to the 14th is New Jersey Jeep Invasion.
Woot woot.
And we will be there.
Yes, we will.
We won't be together, but we'll be there.
We might be together some of the time.
Oh, we'll be hanging out eventually.
For sure.
Actually, just found out today,
Yeah.
Big Red is going to be featured in the Tread Lightly booth.
See, I knew that about 10 days before you did.
Probably. Additionally, Jason's Jeep, Jetty Jason will be hanging out in the Tread Lightly booth as well.
Whoa.
So come over, say hi to Jetty Jason and Break It Billy, and also you can go see Jeep and Terry.
Oh, yeah.
He will be there in full effect over at the Oracle booth, hanging out with the LMTV and Kylo.
And 3 other Jeeps.
Wow.
Yeah, so we got a full house.
That's cool.
Full house.
Yeah.
We'll have some Oracle product for sale.
Awesome.
We'll do a show special on some things. Cool. And
so if you want to see the majority of the Jeep Life podcast, come over to Tread Lightly because it's going to be Dr. Don, Jetty Jason, Break It Billy hanging at Tread Lightly, and then we'll be hanging out with Jeep and Terry as well. And if you would like to show off your night lights on Saturday night, July 13th, New Jersey Jeep Invasion Light Party hosted by Oracle Lighting at Cold Spring Brewing. It's going to be a great time.
It's going to be an awesome time.
It's going to be really cool.
I've got the Jeep Life podcast guys doing parking.
Yep.
And I've actually been talking to the marketing team.
Okay.
To try to maybe do something fun with that.
I need to get new rock lights. I have one that's out.
Oh, that's no good.
So I can't show up with like a padiddle.
No, you can. No, you can't. No, you can't. But no, it'll be a good time. We're giving an award for the best lights.
Awesome.
I've seen the award. It looks killer.
That's really cool.
So come on over.
Sounds good. And then July 19th and 20th is PA All Breeds Jeep Fest in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Actually, we're going to jump back a hair. And July 18th is an open house kickoff party for PA All Breeds Jeep Fest at Skid Row Off-Road.
Yeah,
and they always put that on the night before, and it's always a good turnout. Great to hang out with people, enjoy some music, see some Jeeps. Always a great time. So July 18th is over at Skid Row, and then July 19th and 20th is PA All Breeds Jeep Fest in Carlisle, PA. There's the rock crawl course. There is all the vendors. There's the Jeep shows. There's flex competitions. There's slow crawl competitions. See all the Jeeps. Hang out with your friends and beat the heat.
Make sure you stay hydrated.
I will.
Remember the first year we went together?
Well, that was in York, and that was a totally different situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. This year I'm bringing a fan bucket.
There you go. Oh, brilliant.
Absolutely. So August 2nd to the 4th is Toledo Jeep Fest in Toledo, Ohio, and that is where the Jeep is made.
Yep.
So it's going to be a great time
I'd
out
like
there.
To go there.
August 22nd to the 24th is Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion.
The granddaddy of them all.
In Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Yep.
So it's going to be a good time down there. And let me tell you, August 25th is the Warren Trail Ride at Windrock Park. September 6th to the 7th is Detroit 4 Fest in Hollyoaks ORV Park, and that is a awesome time out there. I've always wanted to make it out. I know, Terry, you want to make it out there too?
Yeah, I think I might go see Mr. Zielinski and team.
That'd be cool.
This year, we're going to work on that.
Awesome. And then September 21st to the 22nd is Fall New Jersey Jeep Invasion.
Yeah.
And also, September 21st is the Jeep Enthusiast of Eastern Pennsylvania Trail Ride. And I'm going to be at the trail ride.
You're
going to
trail
be
ride.
at the
I'll be at the Jeep Invasion. Yeah.
We'll miss you.
Yeah.
We got two group sites this year. Sorry to rub that one in. But October 19th is Crawling for Canines, supporting those four-legged friends, helping fight and solve crime. And that's a lot of important stuff. So Break It Billy's going to be leading the Black-Red group up there at AOAA, and Jetty Jason is going to be leading a Green-Blue group for the Crawling for Canines. So head over to crawlingforcanines.com, sign up, get your ticket, and they're going to have lots of awesome giveaways and prizes and everything else.
I like it. All right. Thanks for sharing our calendar with us.
Yeah, man.
Bring it down a little bit.
I know.
One duck.
Yeah.
One act of kindness changed the world. We're gonna remember Allison Parliament, and if you don't know, she's kind of the person that started the ducking,
the duck movement,
right? It maybe it existed before her in in smaller spheres, but she was the one that brought it to the front.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one that kind of created the Duck Duck Jeep movement completely, because that hashtag did not exist before that. But I'm going to read the announcement from the Parliament family. It is with deep sadness that we, on behalf of the Parliament family, announce the passing of Allison Parliament, the beloved founder of the Duck Duck Jeep movement today. Allison's impact on the Jeep community worldwide was profound, spreading kindness and joy through her simple yet powerful initiative. Her vision brought smiles and created connections among Jeep enthusiasts around the globe, fostering a sense of unity and camaraderie. In honor of Allison's legacy, her family has requested that everyone flood Facebook with images of their ducks. Let's come together and celebrate the kindness she inspired and the community she built. The family has asked for privacy as they mourn the loss of Allison. We will provide more information here as the family requests, but this is a fresh and difficult time for all, so this is all the information we have.
Mm-hmm.
Please join us in remembering Allison and the incredible positivity she brought into our lives. I, for one, wasn't into the ducks. I wasn't anti-duck. But I wasn't into it. Like, I wouldn't go out and buy ducks.
Right.
But I started regifting them. And, that kind of, it's a small gesture. It means so, it puts so little effort into making somebody smile.
Yeah.
And, I think that's amazing. So what I've done tonight is I've collected, memorials, appreciation, comments from the internet, and I've kind of brought them into a collection, and I'm going to read them. Then we're going to maybe discuss them, or
I'll take on some as well.
Excellent.
And I want to give, along the same lines, Terry. To be 100% honest with you, I didn't know who Allison was.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was the founder, but I did know the movement.
Yep.
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was really cool. Just in the time that the whole world was such in a conundrum of things going on, she brought, like you said, a smile to people's faces.
Yeah.
Where interaction wasn't necessarily possible even.
True. Because, all right, so it all started in 2020 in COVID.
Right.
And, I got a chance to meet her a couple years ago, and then I saw her again a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
At Bantam, and interviewed her for an article, and she couldn't have been a nicer soul.
Yeah. I mean, to do this alone, you have to be a special soul.
So I reached out to the people whose comments I wanted to use.
Yeah.
And ask their permission.
Right.
Because I'm weird about that sort of thing.
No, I think it's important.
If somebody's going to say something from their heart, I want to make sure that they are credited and they're okay with us sharing that.
Yeah.
And so I mean, we'll go back and forth and read some of these.
Yeah.
Mark Rubio I found him on a Facebook group. And so I wasn't big on the Duck Duck Jeep thing, but I know a lot of you are. The founder, Allison Parliament, was unexpectedly passed away. Just a few weeks ago, she attended Bantam Jeep Fest. I thought I'd post this. Anyway, love for my Jeeples. And he had posted a picture of a duck.
Yeah.
And that was great.
So from Ryan Stone, OJFW USA. So official Jeep.
I wasn't able to find that.
Yeah, that's okay. By now, you all have heard the passing of Allison Parliament. Bad news seems to travel at lightning speed. There are those who believe that ducking Jeeps is a silly thing. It has no bias in history, and a lot of traditional Jeeps shun the idea. It's okay. My perspective is a bit different. Ducking Jeeps was born out of simple, pure, honorable action. Allison would tell you that she never thought it would become a thing. In fact, the first time she ducked someone, it was because they appeared to be having a bad day. And her only thought was to make them feel better. Nobody could have known that a single simple act of kindness would bloom coast to coast and beyond and become a part of the Jeep tradition. Our own OJFW Froggies are a direct result of Allison's vision. Many of you have received them as well. Allison was a light in the dark, and her simple act of kindness is now a part of Jeep history. I'd like to think she'd be smiling up there.
I certainly hope so.
Absolutely.
And it couldn't be any truer that Allison's effort on this
100%
was humility. It was kind of a way of dealing with a time that wasn't easy for anybody, right? And yeah, it wasn't something that's been around forever.
No.
Like the Jeep Wave or, some of the other things that have been started in World War II. But it's hard to make such a big impact. And this next comment will kind of speak to that. This is from Jeep on their Instagram. Through one act, a beautiful act of kindness, Allison Parliament started a movement. Today we mourn the loss of a community member who spread joy to millions with a single rubber duck. #Ducks for Allison. And to have Jeep say that, and put that out there, that's automatically makes it a big deal.
Yep.
But I know that Jim Morrison has mentioned her. Jeep actually sponsored a lot of her travel to events.
Yeah.
So, Jeep's very particular about their name and their brand.
Yes.
And they're not just going to let anyone do that and use that. And, for Allison to be given that.
So if you're listening, I'm going to challenge you right now.
No.
Allow the Jeep logo to be put on the same spot as a duck. And if you're out there, Jeep, you know what I'm talking about. So, allow us to have Jeep and the duck in the same space.
I like it.
From Judy Ortiz, Jeep Life, Indiana. Terrible, terrible news. Allison Parliament, the founder of the Ducked Up Jeep movement, has passed away. In support of Allison and all that she has done for the Jeep community, let's all post a duck in her honor. I choose this duck because I am angry that I lost a friend way too early in life. I am grateful to have been able to call her my friend. R.I.P. Allison, official Ducking Jeep established 2020.
Yeah. And a lot of these I was able to get out there because Allison, the Parliament family, asked to put a duck out there.
Absolutely.
And talk about it. And it's cathartic to be able to do that. And I know that
I mean, I've received ducks of all walks, let me tell you.
Yes.
From itty bitty tiny little ducks,
right?
Almost less than an inch tall, to, I think, coming home to Terry putting a duck the size of giant refrigerator almost on my hood.
Yeah.
So absolutely. I mean, as you said before, I wasn't necessarily the person that went out and bought ducks, but I did definitely re-gift the ducks that I received because I didn't, put the tag that somebody gave me on the duck.
Right.
I would just take the duck and re-gift it. But like I said, it connected me to other people as well, not even knowing the person or whatsoever. I've gotten caught putting a duck on somebody's Jeep.
Right, yeah.
And then that gets me to talk to the person, and, it's another way. I mean, I could talk to a brick wall and I still expect an answer, but
yes.
But it is a way. It's a conversation starter. It's a great way just to spread the Jeep love.
Yeah, I again regifted the majority of my ducks.
Yeah.
And then I had never worked in an office atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And so at my desk, it became kind of a thing to...
You had all your ducks lined up.
All my ducks were in a row.
Well, you say, and just like me, I save a few that I really like.
Yes.
But yeah.
And so, that continued to grow. And it was kind of fun. It was a conversation piece around the office when people come in and see it. From our friend Nina Fox, fly high, Allison Parliament. Thanks for all the smiles you brought to our community. #DuckDuckJeep. And simple.
Yeah.
Right?
From the Bantam Jeep Festival, we are deeply sad to share the news of passing of Allison Parliament. The founder of the Duck Duck Jeep movement, Allison joined us at Bantam just 2 weeks ago and met many of our Bantam fans as duck signings. The Duck Dash and Babes of Bantam, the Jeep Safari, and the Jeep Invasion. In honor of Allison's legacy, her family has requested that everyone flood Facebook with images of their ducks on Sunday. Let us come together to celebrate the kindness she inspired and the Jeep community. We will miss you, Allison.
Well, we've passed Sunday. Keep doing it.
Just keep posting them. There is no reason to stop this.
No, and I know that Bantam, the folks who run Bantam, they really enjoyed having her there, and she'd been there for several years, meeting people. She showed the lifestyle, and that brilliant. From the Cruisin' Quackers, it is with heavy heart that we share the news of the passing of Allison Parliament, the beloved founder of Duck Duck Jeep movement. Her creativity and kindness have touched so many lives, and her legacy will continue to inspire us all. Rest in peace, Allison Parliament. In honor of Allison's legacy, and it continues on, for posting ducks, keep doing it all the time. Let's come together and celebrate. In the same way, we will miss you, Allison. Ducks for Allison. Rest in peace, Duck Duck Jeep, and in memory.
That's a great name, Cruisin' Quackers.
Yeah.
Off-Grid Accessories. It is with a heavy heart and great sadness that we announce the passing of Allison Parliament. She was the founder of the Duck Duck Jeep and a friend. Several people have reached out and asked what will happen to the launch of the Allison Duck. At this time, we don't know. We are grieving the loss of a friend, but we will be in contact with the family to see what we can do to help them through this tough time. I can't tell you how excited she was to hear her duck come to life. Prayers to her family and her.
Yeah. It was super, super sad. they're actually no. I'm gonna update that. Off Grid Accessories. They worked with Allison to create a Wonder Woman duck. Each of them are hand painted. They are in pre-order now. You can get that, and the proceeds from that go to Allison's family. There's a keychain version, there's a duck, and there's a magnet that is available to that. I somehow skip. No, we got it. We got it.
Mm-hmm.
Eileen Vale Hagar. This duck is in honor of Allison Parliament. The Jeep community will never forget you. In my eyes, you will always be the Wonder Woman of the duck world. I promise to do my part in continuing what you started by spreading love and kindness one duck at a time. And the Wonder Woman thing, it's kind of neat that it ties in, but the duck that they designed and worked together while she was alive is a Wonder Woman duck, and I think it's kind of fitting.
Mm-hmm.
Her superpower wasn't that she was this outstanding spokesperson, that she was this outstanding, she's not going to go climb Mount Everest.
Nope.
She's not the most hardcore
her spirit
wheeler.
might.
Yeah, she's not the most hardcore wheeler. Her Jeep was a pretty simple JL, but the fact that she could impact so many people in such a short period of time, that's huge.
That's what the Jeep life's all about.
It is.
Just living it. I'm going to be honest. I got ducks for Christmas.
Did you?
I got a big old box of ducks for Christmas. So
yeah,
they are. I've been saving them for obviously Jeep Invasion, where it's like you got to duck everybody. But
yep,
I'm going to be handing them out, and now truly knowing who the person started it all.
Yeah, for sure.
Brittany from IG. Brittany, sad to see the girl who created the whole Duck Jeep movement has passed away. I'm not a big fan of the whole ducking Jeeps thing for myself, even though I've probably been ducked more times than I can count over the past 4 years. I consider them a compliment for the Christmas lights, supercharger, and zebra racing stripes I have. I do think it's pretty cool, though, how one girl's act of kindness can spread across the world and spark a whole craze many people loved and created a community over. My business even joined in, all because someone tried to make other people's day and make a huge impact on others that continued for years. Remember that. Be like Allison Parliament and spark kindness in others. Hashtag Duck Jeep.
Just be kind.
Just be kind.
Do one little thing to make somebody's day better. You don't know what they were going through before.
And the next time you see a Jeep in the parking lot, and if you have a duck in your glove box or center console, or you were just given one, do the right thing.
Yeah, put it out there. Put it out there.
Because it made you smile, make the next person smile.
That's right. Pass it on. Normally we give a big hurrah at the end of the show, but I think it's, take care of each other, be kind, and,
pass that duck on, and you know where to find us.
Hey, Allison, here's a big Jeep wave to you.